Welcome back to another episode of today's Economic News, where we dissect the issues impacting our world in profound ways. Today, we are diving into a hot-button issue that has emerged recently. Hillary Clinton's assertion that the social media platform TikTok is to blame for the rising tide of anti-Israel sentiment among young Americans. But don't expect me to just pass along this headline without digging deeper. No, we are going to unearth the roots of this controversy and examine why such a claim has surfaced now. Let's start with understanding why this matters, not just as a standalone incident, but as a reflection of deeper societal fears. Young people, our future leaders, are being accused of falling under the influence of what has been labeled as pure propaganda. This paints a rather ominous picture of the current state of public discourse, where social media platforms may wield more influence over opinions than traditional educational sources. If true, this revelation should alarm anyone who values informed and rational debate. It's not just a concern for Israel or even just the United States, but a global issue impacting how we consume information. Before we delve into today's situation, let's take a step back and consider how we arrived here. The roots of this concern stretch back over decades, with the dawn of Israel in 1948 and subsequent conflicts that shaped the region, such as the Six-Day War of 1967 and the Intifadas of the latter 20th century. Over the years, these events have been a focal point for public opinion, informing generational narratives. And now, with social media, the discussion about Israel and Palestine has reached a digital intersection where misinformation can spread like wildfire, impacting impressions at an unprecedented speed. In recent memory, the terrorist attack by Hamas on Israel on October 7, 2023, has only added fuel to an already intense debate. This attack has intensified scrutiny on the portrayal of Israel in the media and public responses, particularly among young people who predominantly consume their news through digital means. Now, according to Hillary Clinton, platforms like TikTok are the new battlegrounds. Clinton has been quoted saying they are seeing short-form videos, some of them totally made up, some of them not at all representing what they claim to be showing, and that's where they get their information. Her concern underscores a perceived erosion of context and depth, which are critical for understanding such a multifaceted issue. Here's where we apply the John method. Clinton refers to smart, well-educated young Americans being swayed by deceptive narratives on TikTok. Fact: social media is a dominant force in today's media landscape. Translation: this means an average young person might spend hours sifting through content that, on the surface, demands much less scrutiny than a textbook or scholarly article. Attack: if politicians believe short video clips are a student's main educator, shouldn't we be fuming at both the media platforms and the educational systems allowing this vacuum? Clinton also articulates it's a serious problem for democracy, whether it's Israel or the United States, and it's a serious problem for our young people. But let's ask the real question here. Do they think we are stupid? Clinton's critique implies young Americans are merely empty vessels, passively filled with whatever content scrolls past their eyes. Are we negating their ability to discern and engage critically? Are these comments a convenient distraction from broader systemic failures? What about the role of platforms themselves? An internal memo from a TikTok employee hints at a disparity between resources allocated to pro-Israel humanitarian campaigns versus those of opposing voices. The specifics aren't clear, but isn't it a damning reflection of how monetary influence can skew narratives on supposedly open platforms? Critics of Clinton's narrative argue that it's overly simplistic. Young people today are anything but passive consumers. They are active participants navigating many information channels. Articles, podcasts, and educational settings contribute to their understanding, often spurring complex dialogues that transcend easy categorizations. Perhaps Clinton's comments oversimplify, overlooking genuine grievances against Israeli policies born out of historical and socio-political contexts. Preparing for a fiery transition, let's channel our libertarian lens. First, there's an inflation of public discourse, where superficial narratives overshadow substantive policy discussions. This is theft, depriving us of rational debate. Then gaze upon government incompetence, How capable are they in regulating platforms to ensure public discourse remains healthy? If they can't manage social media's grip on public opinion, one must ask, what else are they fumbling? Finally, to the heart of libertarian concern, loss of liberty. A singular narrative extinguishes free discourse, fostering polarization rather than constructive dialogue. To wrap up today's segment, Clinton's contention that TikTok's influence is steering young Americans toward anti-Israel sentiment is fraught with alarming implications for educational competence and platform power. If you're tired of paying for their mistakes and you crave more insights into how such dynamics shape our world, hit that subscribe button. This is John, signing off from today's economic news.